This random midweek picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, July the 15th. We are here to put a rubber stamp on the Club World Cup, which finished on Sunday night. We will probably talk a lot of bollocks, and we are here to disprove to those people who think there's no football to bet on, because we found some. So hence the title of the show, Random Midweek Picks. Joining me, punching the air when I announced the end of the Club World Cup, is the most miserable man in British sport. It's Mr. Barry Penaluna. Hello, Baz. Nice to see you smiling there.
I was going to say, there's nothing miserable about me. I'm feeling refreshed now. I've quite enjoyed handicapping some random games from around the world tonight. It's the most fun I've had for weeks.
Yeah, well, I've been to five-a-side tonight. I've not been back in sort of 10 minutes or so. I am a little bit out of breath, but I'll tell you what, tonight, Barry, I was picking out the bottom corner like a motherfucker, by the way. I tell you what, I was like Gary Goals tonight. I was scoring all of the types of goals. But that's an aside. I picked Tiger up on the way, and he said, there's no football on, there's nothing to do. I was like, don't you be so stupid. Don't make that mistake. There's plenty football on. I do not know what you have picked. You don't know what I picked. I've got 4 games. Have you got how many? 4.
Yeah.
So there we go. We've got some games to pick, which is exciting. Bit of a sour. I've run out of stuff tonight, Barry. Me cup of tea. There's no tea bags. I've come in. Cup of tea. So I've had to go out the van and use my emergency tea bags. You know, like I've got like a bag of stuff like I've nicked from hotels and that. You know, when I'm working. So bag of tea and coffee and shit. So I've had to get an emergency tea bag. I believe this is a Taylor's English breakfast, Barry. I've run out of jotters. All my jotters are full. So I'm on a little notepad. My carbon footprint's gigantic because I'm very analog, as you well know. So I don't know what's going on here. I might have to have a word with the IT department about her stock take. She's just messaged to say she is on the bus on the way home. I don't know where she's been, Barry. So at some point in the next half an hour, she might come rolling through the door in any kind of state. So there's a little bit of jeopardy for us on the show. See what state the IT department comes back in. Any crack bars, anything to tell us? We're going to talk, I reckon, first about the World Cup, the Club World Cup recap. Harry's in the chat. Harry, we will carry you shoulder high around the room metaphorically in a minute. Barry, any crack?
Do we have to bring the mood down a little bit by mentioning that shite? A little bit of crack. I told you I was at a gig on Saturday night. I visited that Leeds, didn't I? I went up the road.
No, did you? That there Leeds, dirty Leeds.
Went up to Leeds. And it was a bit of a random one. There was a gig on that I quite fancied going to see. A band called the Lathams, which is up in Leeds, neck of the woods, isn't it? They're from Wigan. I know he's not from Wigan, but it's around that way, innit, roughly. So I'd thought about going, and I'd thought what I'll do is wait till the day, and then I'll have a mooch around and see if anyone's trying to sell any tickets on the cheap, because I'm a tight git. So I like to find a bargain. So it was Friday night. I went onto the old Facebook, and I just typed in Latham's tickets, Leeds, just looking for any random post from any random person who might be trying to get rid of some tickets on the cheap. As it happened, there was a random bloke who had posted 20 minutes earlier saying, I've got 2 tickets for the Latham gig in Leeds. I don't want a penny for them. Does anyone want them? So I jumps in. I says, if you can't use them tickets, I'll take them. He says, oh, no problem at all. I don't want anything for them. I've also got a hotel 5 minutes up the road from the gig. Do you want the hotel? You can have it for free. I paid for it ages ago. I was like, aye, I'll have the hotel. No problem. So I give him my email, and within 5 minutes, he sent across two £40 tickets and a £150 hotel reservation. So me and the eldest daughter, I went up to Leeds, and it worked out well because I would have happily drove back. But as it happened, I got the hotel so I could have a few beverages and had a very good night.
My first point of interest to this is, Barry, how did it not occur to you to message me and say, we're going to a free gig with an overnight stop in Leeds, get your arse down? You messaged me and said, oh, I'm going to this thing. Like, that's the exact tone of voice that you used. I'm going to this thing. And I was like, where the fuck's my invite? I mean, free night out. You never thought to invite me, no?
When was the last time you invited me to anything, Malcolm?
What's all this what about? You just got free tickets and a free thing. It's not about inviting someone. It's like, that's ridiculous. That was quite hurtful, Barry, I'll be honest with you.
Busy fucking wanking.
I was sitting here
Club World
like
Cup
a knob, absolutely bored out my tree. In there, you're living the life of Riley and not inviting me, so disappointed. The IT department has returned while you were telling that story, but she's gone straight upstairs, so we're none the wiser, Barry. That doesn't help us out in determining how pie-eyed she is. So it could be a straight-to-bed situation, or she might just be keeping out the way. There's loads of people in the chat, Barry, who are having a lovely time, paying no attention to us, which is fine. Smudger was first in. Callum got his loyalty card stamped.
I was getting a lot of grief in the chat for being late again, which is normal. But actually today, I was here on time, sat here. I've had IT issues. And it's the first time I've experienced such issues on this computer. So that's a bit of a concern, but it all seems to be going okay at the moment. But the reason, if anyone's looking for an excuse, you're probably not. But there you go. IT issues.
We can add it to the list of excuses, can't we, Barry?
Yeah.
Harry, champions of the world. You'll never sing that. Chelsea. Welcome along. Harry, who else is here? Fefwef's here. Nice to have Fefwef. The Bacchus family are here as well. Who's down here? What? Oh, Ian Lighthouse here. Welcome along, Ian. And right down the bottom here is Martin Fowler's Meat and Two Veg, which made me chuckle a lot. It's an excellent reference. Big fan of Martin Fowler. I'm a bigger fan of Arthur Fowler, if you remember him. Baz, remember when he stole the Christmas Club money? Back, 1987, was it? Stole the Christmas Club money from it was the allotment fund, wasn't it?
That was Arthur Fowler.
Arthur Fowler, yeah. It was the Allotment Association Christmas Club money. He had that away, got sent to prison. Anyway, Martin Fowler took over the stall and did a fine job. He's a lovely young man. Not sure about that. What's the young Beale called, though? Not Ian or Pete. Billy. No, Bill. Ben? Bill. The one who murdered that other one. Anyway, he's a wrong one. Anyway, Martin Fowler's Meat and Two Veg. Welcome along. If you are in the chat, you want to say hello, please do so. Don't know if you know, Barry, but I'm a golf expert now. Did you know that?
I knew that, yeah. I watched it last night. Did you?
Yeah. The reason I mentioned that is if anyone wants some really well thought out and well researched and almost certain winners on the Open, you might want to go and have a listen to the Steffi Small show on the network, where I did a little half an hour last night on the Open Golf, because I think they wanted someone with a British accent. So I lent an air of gravitas and authenticity, Barry, as I very often do, to these situations. So that was that. Club World Cup, Barry, Chelsea did win. In terms of the picks, well, the match, but we'll get to the match picks first. My over 1.5 first half goals hit. That really got me out the shit because I had PSG on the handicap. We had PSG team total. So the over 1.5 first half goals hit, which was okay. More luck than judgment. It was the sort of game I don't think any people in this chat had a winner. You'd rather have to be a Chelsea fan or a lunatic. I'll tip my cap to Cree, actually. When we handicapped the game, Cree was the only one in the chat who said he thinks Chelsea will turn up. And Chelsea absolutely battered them. From the 4th minute onwards, I think you've given up by then, but from the 4th minute onwards, it was very apparent that Chelsea had a plan and they were on top. There was one decisive moment in the first half when Doué somehow decided not to burst the net from 4 yards out, tried to lay it back into Hakimi, which was insane at 0-0. 2 minutes later, it was 1-0 Chelsea, and that was the end of it. It was a really unusual result. But what killed me, Barry, was in the match, I had to go over 3.5 goals, so there's 3 at half time. But the race to 196, Barry, we started on 192. Fucking hell. I know, yeah, you may well laugh, Barry. Started on 192. We get 3 in the first half to get us to 195. I mean, what a great sweat. We've had a month-long sweat, Barry, to cash this 6-1 winner. Flew over the original line of 183. And then did you see the chance Gonzalo Ramos missed at the death?
No.
It just hit him. He let it hit him a yard out. But Bob had his head in his hands. It was absolutely incredible. So we finished on 195. Do you know what ultimately cost me? Which I noticed, if you remember, 1 week into the tournament, was the lack of a 3rd and 4th place playoff. I handicapped it on 64 games without realising there wasn't 3rd, 4th place game. So there was actually 63 games. So it just goes to show, Barry, don't do your research. I've been stymied by one. I don't think you made it past the walkouts or Robbie Williams, did you, Barry?
I turned over because I feel like in my head, I think I can avoid all of that nonsense by just turning over in time for kickoff. So I knew it kicked off at 8 o'clock. I put it on at 8 o'clock, and there was just loads of nonsense going on. There's Robbie Williams singing a song. You've got an American national anthem for a game between a French and an English side. And then that's the fucking Michael Buffer announcing them onto the pitch in the blue corner. I'm like, nah, I'm not having it. I turned it over. I never watched a fucking minute of it. I absolutely point blank refused.
It was great.
Flyover.
Did you see the flyover?
No, I didn't. I did see the flyover, yes.
The half-time show. Do you want to get into that?
I didn't.
It was a beard with massive knockers.
Well, I followed the game.
Fella with tiny legs. I don't know. Can you say that? I don't want to get cancelled.
Genuinely, I lost interest after 2 minutes of the pre-game nonsense and the fact the game wasn't kicking off anytime soon. So I put the women's football on and I watched the live score on Bet365. And then, funnily enough, it got to half-time and I was thinking, why is the second half not kicked off yet? Because I've just been watching the live update. And sure enough, I'm like, what is going on here? And I turned over and that was when that little dwarf was singing with Chris Martin. And I'm just head in my hands thinking, what is going on? Football's never needed this. It didn't need it before. It doesn't need it now. And the thing that I know for a fact, you hate that shite as much as anyone, Malcolm.
I very much enjoyed it, Barry. I've downloaded all
about the light shows and all of that. This is the same.
They didn't do a light show though, did they? Because there's no such thing.
They do the flashy lights when they're coming out the tunnel, and they're taking 10 minutes to call them all out. No, I couldn't watch it. I've had enough. I mean, I say I had enough, Mark. I've watched about 20 minutes of the entire tournament, but it just unnecessary bollocks. All of that. I want to just let them play football. Like people just want to tune in and watch the football. Who wants that? Do the Americans even want that? I don't know. Just get away.
Well, I've downloaded all that little fella's albums, Barry. I've got the whole back catalogue. I'm a completist. Donald Trump was funny at the end. The more and more I've watched that clip, it just gets funnier. Because you need to watch it every time. And every time just focus on a different player. Like Cole Palmer's the obvious one. But Cucurella actually has gone up in my estimations. Because as much as he acted like an absolute tit for the entire game, he's really funny. Rhys James just says to Donald Trump, so you stay here then? And Donald Trump just goes, yeah. It's fucking great. I enjoyed all of that. Absolutely outstanding. So really, really good. Everyone in the chat seemed to enjoy that as well. So yeah, bring that on. Loads more of that next year, Barry.
Ian Lighthouse has asked who was the little person on the stage with Coldplay. Lee Smith reckons it was Lissandro Martinez.
Hey, yes.
Morrison's Butcher.
I did some excellent Morrison's Butcher satire on socials this week. Man United was showing him arriving back at training. So I was in, Barry, me, get him on the fish counter, etc. All the oldies. SGPN picks and props for free on the SGPN app. Get it wherever you get your apps. And if you want to end this on a sensible note, Baz, Chelsea, what on earth do we make of Chelsea after that going forward? I mean, are we impressed? Are we not impressed? Are you just not counting it? Do you upgrade them points? Do you upgrade them top 4? Are they title challenges? I mean, what on earth? What do you do with Chelsea? Because I handicapped that game saying I don't trust them. Now, if you don't trust a team because they win a match, that doesn't make you trust them. They got to win 10 or 12 or go a half a season and do something before you trust them. So, any strong takeaways at Chelsea, Baz?
No, and as I say, I haven't watched a lot of it. Certainly before the final, it wouldn't have changed my opinion on them. The fact he got there, because I thought they had a fairly easy run, but then, they've come up against what everyone was saying is the best team in the world, and absolutely trounced them at the end of the day. So, I mean, they get an uptick because Pedro's come in and started well.
Yeah.
So that's got to be a bonus for them. But yeah, it remains to be seen. I still have massive concerns about at what point it's going to hit them. The fact that they haven't had a rest since about 11 months ago. Because, as I say, most of their players have gone off to international duty as soon as the Premier League finished. And then straight into this. And now, meanwhile, everyone else is in their pre-season camps or, friendlies have started up. Liverpool played the other day. Newcastle had a behind closed doors friendly. I assume Chelsea have now given their players a couple of weeks off. And then they're back in a couple of weeks to play Leverkusen, possibly, something like that, in friendly. So I think it's got to be a concern. But hats off to them. They've went there, they've made £100 million, and they can call themselves world champions despite not having had to face the champions of any of the best leagues in the world.
They beat the Champions League winners in the final, but
yeah, but they haven't beat the champions of England, Spain, or Italy.
Well, that's because the team that beat them knocked them all out.
Yeah, it's a bit. Let's not try and justify the fact that the random selection of teams that made it into this competition to so-called, claim the title of the best club in the world.
If you're downplaying the merits of Espérance de Tunis, Barry, then I can't help you. It's a global game. Yeah, I think the manager's settled in a little bit. I think it'll buy him some time and set them down a little bit. The one thing you can't argue with is they've got loads of good players. They have, and I was impressed with. We know, obviously, that players like Enzo and Caicedo are very, very good, but I was impressed with Caldwell in the entire tournament. I thought he took a step forward. Chalobah took a step forward. The goalkeeper played well because I said he was shite on the show previously. I maintain that he is shite, so they might have to upgrade there. They've got a ton of good players. Obviously, João Pedro's come in. Liam Delap, we're not entirely sure what we're going to get. Neto has been outstanding. Another little shit. They're entirely dislikable, Chelsea. Nearly all of them, which makes it worse. But yeah, we'll see. So I don't quite know what to make of him. We'll unravel it in the next few weeks, Baz. So today, what we're going to do, there's a ton of stuff happening. Like I say, don't be fooled into thinking there's no football, because there's a ton of competitions. I've got 4 picks from 4 different competitions. Barry's got 4 picks. I do not know if we've got the same competitions or not. It's just an exercise in keeping your senses sharp, Barry. That's what this is. This is pre-season training. Do you know what I mean? This is me and you. You're going to Austria and I'm off to Malaysia, and we're going to do a few laps in the heat. We're doing a bit of warm weather training, a little bit of get a weight belt on, Barry. Make some picks in altitude, stuff like that. Keep ourselves in shape. I think the plan is we'll do one midweek show next week, and then we can start building up where it'll be time for EFL outrights, building up to Premier League previews and stuff like that. So this week and next week are slim pickings, unavoidably. After that, then the countdown is very much on. Finally, Baz, Harry in the chat earlier on alluded to the replacement for Battleships, Barry. It is the game that's got the nation, not just this nation, at least 3 nations in that fella in Nepal talking, Barry. Game. Bob and Alfie Brown had a game this evening before I went to 5-a-side. 0-0, Barry. They played out a 0-0 draw. It was turgid stuff. But you, in a moment of magnanimity, is that a word? That I don't often see from you. You agreed to naming our teams rather than just moving the ball around the little squares. You agreed to naming our starting 11s, Barry. So we said we'd do that tonight. So we're going to let you lead off, Barry. You can lead off. Then we'll make some picks. Then I'll give you my starting 11. And then, so we're not going to kick off tonight. We don't want to rush into anything. This game's had more build-up than a Club World Cup match, but we're not going to kick off tonight. We might kick off next week. If, and only if, everyone's happy with what's happening. But do you want to lead us off, Barry, with your 11 for us?
Yeah, you weren't impressed with my 11, were you?
Why?
I don't know. You just thought it was a bit silliness.
I didn't say a single thing.
Anyway,
right, go
on goal, we've got Mustafa Jin. He's an eccentric Moroccan goalkeeper. I've got a lot of foreigners. There's not many English people in my team. Number 2, the old left back, is Mal Beck. He's a full-bodied Chilean. And by that, I mean he's carrying a bit of extra timber into pre-season. He's a nutritionist's nightmare. He's a little bit overweight as Mal.
Luke Shaw.
Yeah, correct. Phil Glass. Phil Glass is the token angry Scotsman here. Signed him on a free transfer after a stint behind bars for GBH. He's a red card waiting to happen, is good old Phil Glass. Number 4, we've got Bobby Muscat, versatile Australian club captain. Richie Cork at number 5. He's an academy prospect. I say a prospect. He's 30 years old now, but the club have been waiting for him to. They've been waiting for him to pop off for years. 15 years in total now. Richie Cork, a stalwart of the club. Riesling is our German workhorse in the middle of the park. Number 6. Number 7, Alessandro Alberino. He's the Italian stallion. All the ladies love Alessandro. Number 8, we've got Tanat. Just one name because he's South American. Full name, Jose D'Agostino Tanat. Just Tanat for short. Number 9, Pedro Jimenez. He's a Barcelona Academy reject from Spain, obviously. But he's come in, the team firing, full of goals. He's the number 9. We've got Remy Loire, number 10. He's the sulky Frenchman. Electric one week, absolute dog shite the next. Never know what you're going to get from Remy. And finishing off, we've got Al Shiraz. He's the Saudi Arabian. And he's only really part of the team because his parents have piled a load of sponsorship money into the team. He's basically bought his place in the team. But he is the first name on the team sheet as a result.
Oh, there you go. Love that, Barry. I'm sure people will be at home building their bets on your players. I'll give my starting 11 in a little while, Barry. Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circus Football Contest, $21 million in prizes. In the Circa Million, you pick 5 teams ATS every week. All go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. There's even the Circa Grandissimo, a $100,000 Survivor contest. You must register in person at a Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com, use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And we're brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from tons of locations. The thing to do is head to mybookie.ag, use the promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code PLGP. Wait, right promo code. The second time, Barry. Right, okay. Picks. Soccer. I'm clicking the buttons, saying competitions. Barry, do you want to go first or second?
Fire off. Let's go straight into it. I'm going to start off with the Women's European Championships.
Okay, I've got one of them, Barry. I've got one.
Yes. Well, at least we're in the same tournament. I'm going to start with Sweden versus England. Just
I haven't got that.
Keep it local. England had a disappointing start. They started with a defeat to France in the opener and weren't looking very good at all in that. Bounced back really well with a 4-0 win over Netherlands, and then a comfortable win over the group underdogs Wales, winning that 6-1. Nothing unexpected there. Sweden have won all 3 of theirs, and I think the Sweden form looks rock solid. Wins over Denmark and Poland, but then the highlight being a 4-1 win over the Germans. Germans are currently ranked 3rd in the world. So the 4-1 win over them was really, really good form coming into this. Sweden haven't lost a game of football since losing to France almost a year ago to the day, 12th of July, when they last lost a game. Won 11 and drew 4 in that spell. And they faced England twice in the qualifying into this as well. Both games finished in a draw. We had a 0-0 and a 1-1. So there isn't much between the two sides. Sweden have been in great form, not losing to anyone. And I just think there isn't anything here that makes me want England as favourites here. I think Sweden look the better value at the prices. We've got Sweden at 13-5. The draw is 12-5. And England 11-10. I was leaning towards Sweden as a pick, possibly. The two draws, in the head-to-heads just puts me off a little bit, taking them on the money line. There was a couple of things I like. I like both teams to score, because I don't see England shutting out Sweden. Sweden have scored 8 in their 3 games against half-decent opposition. But England themselves haven't failed to score in a game now for about 2 years, I think, since they last got shut out by anyone. Both teams have scored 4-5. I thought it was a really good price here. That's going to be my main pick. Both teams just score between Sweden and England. I do like Sweden as well, but the double chance would be the way to play it, I think. Get the draw on your side. 7-10 for Sweden in the double chance market. You'll probably get just over evens if you want to take them in the draw no bet market. But definitely favouring Sweden, but I'll take the both teams to score.
England have been a bit of a head scratcher for me because they were very poor in that first game, and I didn't fancy them at all against the Dutch. And they came out and they were a different team, and they just pressed. That's all they did. And it, honestly, I don't mean to be mean. I don't know if you do this with your girls, Barry. I used to do this with the kids, with the lads, when they're about 7 or 8. Is if you press the opposition and they're not very good or 8 years old, there's fuck all they can do about it because they're not good enough to handle it. They need to take 2 or 3 touches to get the ball under control, to organise their legs and decide what they're going to do with it. And by the time they've done that, just flatten them. And that's all England did. You could do it to your goods. When my lads, when the other team used to get a goal kick, right? Everyone watching knew that was it till half-time. The ball, the rest of the half was going to be in their penalty area. They could not get out. Other teams just let you stand up. And again, I don't mean to be mean. You know what I mean. Let 1,000 blossoms bloom, Barry, for me. But England just pressed the Dutch, and they couldn't do anything about it because they weren't good enough to. The Wales game doesn't count. Wales are shite, so we'll just have to see what happens in that one. And my Euro pick is on Thursday night, so I'm going to leave that, Baz. I'm going to go Wednesday night, and we are in, Barry, the Scottish League Cup, Group H, in case people were wondering what group we were going into. This is a group format, and it's the Premier Sports Cup, if you're looking for it on your books. But it's the Scottish League Cup. It kicked off at the weekend. There's been a ton of games tonight. I think Lee earlier on was saying Wraith Rovers let down his 11-team ACCA in the Scottish Cup tonight. And so there's only one game on Wednesday, Barry. It is in Group H, and the game is Kilmarnock against Livingstone. Now, actually, there's been a bit of line movement. I handicapped these lunchtime today. Kilmarnock are now 11-10. They were 10-11, so Kilmarnock have drifted out here. The draw 9-4 plus 225, and Livingstone are 9-4 plus 225. They were plus 270, so money's come for Livingstone, nipped in half a point. But I'm quite pleased about that because my pick's Kilmarnock. It's because I wrote Killy down, but Killingworth's a little town north of Newcastle. It's not them. You know, Barry, that I am a sucker for the better team at home and around even money. It's one of my favourite things. I'm always drawn into it. Kilmarnock, very much an established Premier League team, Scottish Prem team. Yeah, they finished 9th last year. At home, they beat Rangers, Dundee United, Aberdeen, Hearts, St Mirren, Motherwell. Apart from Celtic, that's the rest of the top 8. See, Kilmarnock finished 9th. They beat the rest of the top 8, bar from Celtic, and in those wins, Barry, they beat them all 10-0. They didn't concede a goal, winning those 7 home games. First group game was at the weekend. They won away at Brora Rangers 2-0. New manager Stuart Kettlewell in charge there for Kilmarnock. So really solid form claims. Livingstone, no one in Scotland likes Livingstone. I don't know what it is. Livingstone tend to, I don't know if it's a MK Dons sort of franchise FC situation. No one wants Livy back in the Scottish Premier League, but they are back. They qualified via the playoffs last year in the Scottish Championship. They weren't great. They only won 8 away games from 18 in the Scottish Championship last year. They kicked off on Saturday with a 2-1 win at East Fife. I just much prefer Kilmarnock, but I think we're getting a rock-solid Premier League team against a newly promoted team. Kilmarnock's home form was absolutely fine last year. 11-10, perfectly fair price bars for Kilmarnock, plus 110.
Yeah, obviously I have no opinion whatsoever in that because I haven't looked at any Scottish football in my handicapping tonight.
Okay, you don't have to, Barry, because I did.
Well, I'm ready to fire back into the women's game again.
Okay.
It might be the same game you've gone for. I've gone for Spain v Switzerland.
Yes, Barry, let's do that. I've got that one too.
Thought you might have done. So this is on the 18th of July, so it's a Friday. I don't know, might have the dates wrong. Anyway, Spain are 1-10. It's 10-1 the draw and 16-1 Switzerland. Let me just right.
Yeah, it's Friday, 8 o'clock Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Thought so. Yeah, Spain, obviously your pre-tournament pick. Absolutely cruising so far. Scored 14 in their 3 games so far. They've won the last 8 in a row altogether now. And 7 of those wins have come by 2 or more goals. Switzerland sort of scraped their way through here by virtue of 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss in the group stage. And I just think Spain are going to have far too much for them here. I fancy Spain to win this one comfortably. And a pick for me is going to be the Spain team total. They've scored 4 or more in 5 of their last 8 games. Bizarrely, those 5 games all came against Belgium or Portugal. They played Portugal 3 times in the last 8 games. They played Belgium twice in the last 8 games. But they've beaten, on all of them occasions, Belgium and Portugal by 4 or more goals. And Portugal and Belgium are ranked right in the same spot in the rankings as Switzerland. Very similar in terms of stature in the women's game. So I think that bodes well here. Spain to score 4 or more at evens is going to be the pick for me.
This is set up beautifully for a double winner, Barris. We're in a very tight window. We're in a tight window where we can both win. But we'll do it, Baz, like that. People at home can see that. That's good. That's the window. It's the kind of window we're talking about. Because I've used this pick a lot when there's a short price favourite. Bayern Munich would be favourite team. Do you remember Munich to win and under a certain... Yeah, I'm back, Barry. I'm all the way back. Spain are considerably better team here. But I think Switzerland can keep it relatively competitive. They are the home nation. They lost 2-1 to Norway, but beat Iceland 2-0 with a scored late against Finland to secure a 1-1 and qualify. So they've only conceded 3 in their 3 games. Spain's form on paper is a little bit scary. They had Portugal 5-0, but that was 2-0 after 7 minutes. Like, Portugal absolutely shit the bed. It was 4-0 at half time. So they didn't really run up much in the second half. They beat Belgium 6-2, fair enough. And then Italy 3-1, which fits what we're doing here. Spain to win in under 5 goals is 5-6. I know, yeah. Minus 120. What I've written down here, Barry, is Spain are going to win 3-0. It's 7-1. So 82 minutes gone, 3-0 to Spain. We're going to be on a knife edge. We're going to be enjoying this on Friday night. Because you might just get the injury time winner, but we're doing anything daft. So Spain to win under 5 goals, preferably 4 goals for Barry. 5-6, minus 120. Let me tell you about Underdog Best Ball Mania. All summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Use our code PLGP to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credit. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code PLGP. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before. They've just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. Essentially the best of the best, what their house model has to offer. AI-detected patterns that have consistently won MLB Power Trends are hitting at 63%. That's decent. Recently, WNBA Power Trends are 35 and 20 since the launch as well. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Okay, a couple more games to go, Barry, but not before I list my team. I enjoyed yours very much. My team, Barry, for kickoff, which might possibly kick off next week, all being well. We are going to line up number 1, Robin Bravo, Canadian goalkeeper. Baz, why is that thing still on? If you just... What's happening here? There it goes.
Just switched off, didn't I? Well,
trying to mind games on this game, Baz. Robin Bravo, Canadian stopper. He was a little nod to our Canadian listeners. They've got someone to root for, Baz. Fullbacks, I've got old school Roy of the Rovers here, Barry. Korean twins, right back and left back. Tony Lee and Terry Lee. Tony is the older of the two by 4 minutes. Number 4 is Untumbe Smith. Big Ghanaian stopper, plays the guard dog. Incidentally, completely nothing to do with the game, Barry, but his dad is the mayor of Kumasi, which is the second largest city in Ghana. Number 5, Tubby McNair, 42-year-old Scottish hardman. Number 6, Henry Hakkinen, 20-year-old Finnish under-21 international. Number 7, Gianfranco Thompson of England. Number 8, William Vicario Smythe of England. Number 9, Colin, Brazilian. Interesting about Colin, 3 N's at the end of his name, Barry. What's all that about? No idea. Number 10, Wolfgang Vogel, 6'8" German. You've got a big German in the middle of your game, haven't you?
Yeah.
Interesting. And number 11 is the Panamanian winger, Ahmed Sanchez. He'll be lining up on the left-hand side. So the teams are announced, Barry. Pretty exciting. We consider kick-off. Alfie Brown before, 13-year-old kid, Barry, he said it's better than FIFA, this. That cost me £2 at the charity shop. Better than FIFA, he said, before playing out the 0-0 draw with Bob. Fair enough, but there you go. Right, best thing about this, Barry, I can rip these off. Look at that. Next. It's your turn, actually, Baz. You've been good.
Yeah, so I'm back in Thursday now. I don't know why I went to Friday and then came back to Thursday.
Doesn't matter.
But who cares? I've gone into the Europa League qualifying for a big tie between KF Prishtina and Sheriff Tiraspol. Are you going to? Do you know where both of those are based, Malcolm? Little pop quiz for you there.
Sheriff Tiraspol, are they not Moldovan or Romanian?
I thought Romanian. I'm just double checking that though. No, you're right. It's Moldova.
Fucking hell. There's a point.
Anyway,
One show point. I'm so clever. And it was the other lot.
The other lot's Prishtina of Kosovo.
Oh, yeah. Kosovo.
Yeah.
What competition is this, Baz? Sorry.
This is Europa League qualifying. And it's a bit of a silly one to go for, really, because Sheriff come into it 4-0 up from the home leg. It's Thursday night at 7 p.m. And as I say, Sheriff are 4-0 up. So it is all done and dusted. But given the gulf between the two in the first leg, I think it would still take quite a drop off for Sheriff not to have the better of the second leg as well. And they're 13-10 to go to Prishtina to win this. 13-10 appeals, but I'm going to take them on the team total. They only need to get half as many goals as they got in the first leg. Sheriff Tiraspol over 1.5 team total at 5-4 is going to be my pick here.
I don't suppose I was watching TNS earlier on in the Champions League. They were 1-1 in their games away in Macedonia, I think. You don't know the final score, do you, Baz? I had to go to footy.
It finished 1-1.
What does that mean?
Shkendia. I assume it's still going on.
Well, can it be kicked off at 7 o'clock? It'd have to be in the Club World Cup for it to be going on this long.
Well, Google's telling me it's in extra time. It's currently in the 96th minute.
In the 96th minute?
That can't be right, can it?
No, it can't be. Anyway. Someone in the chat, though. What are you like in the chat? Definitely had a bet on this game. I'm not buying it. Next, for me, then.
Malcolm, I've found it here. TNS are out. Just
TNS are out. Okay, brilliant. This just in, TNS are out. I'm going to Champions League qualifying Wednesday night, 7:45 kickoff, which is 2:45 Eastern. And I'm going to Linfield versus Shelbourne. So we're keeping this relatively close to home. FFWF says it finished 2-1. There you go. Thank you. Linfield versus Shelbourne. Because what we got here is the Irish Premier League champions against the League of Ireland champions. This is the second leg. These are all second legs. Shelbourne won 1-0 last week down in the Republic. Head north of the border for the second leg here. Shelbourne were really quite dominant in that game, as I've caught up with nearly all the game. The Linfield keeper made a couple of saves in the first half. Shelbourne had a penalty overturned by VAR before they scored that 58th minute goal. Linfield has struggled a bit. They lost their best attacking player, Baz. Joel Cooper was their creative man in the middle. They lost him to Coleraine in the summer, and they really didn't create much in that game. Shelbourne have the advantage here in that their league, the League of Ireland, is well into the season. Damien Duff actually was in charge. Damien Duff, ex-Newcastle, Chelsea, etc. Was in charge. They won the league last year. They were doing really, really well. And then he had a bit of a stop about a month ago. Something kind of mental happened. And he had a stop. Then he came back. And then he stopped off again. So in between them qualifying and play, in between the draw and the first leg, Damien Duff actually left here. But they're right in the middle of their season where Linfield just really had one prep game. So the match sharpness just puts a little bit of a dampener on this as well for Linfield. I think Shelbourne are more match ready, and I think they've just got a little touch more quality. The League of Ireland is actually really on the up part of a cycle at the moment. They're doing a lot of things where, a little bit like Scotland, where they've got a load of mad young kids. The supporters are starting to go back to their local grounds and stuff like that. And they've got some decent players coming out of there. I'm going to take Shelbourne at 17-10 plus 170. The under 2.5 seems really obvious, but it's short, Baz. It's 7-10 minus 142. So if you want to put a little lacquer together of some stuff, I wouldn't put you off the under 2.5. But I'm just going to take Shelbourne on the outright. FFWF says he backed Shelbourne last week over 1.5 on the ACCA. Slightly unfortunate because they probably deserved a second goal but didn't get it. But I think they can get some money back tomorrow. FFWF 17-10 Shelbourne, Baz.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of those games where I thought the unders looked attractive. I thought you could probably find a decent sort of double or treble or something. Quite a few of them were quite short, but last week there was loads of 0-0s and 1-0s around in those first legs. It's just early season stuff, isn't it? So I fancy a few of them to be quite low scoring. Anyway, my final pick is going to be in China. I've gone to China, the Chinese Super League. This is 9:30 a.m. on the 18th of July, so 9:30 UK time, 4:30 a.m. Eastern time on Friday, that is. And we're going to go to the game between Changchun Yatai against Shanghai Port. Changchun, sorry, not Changchun.
Come on,
bad of me.
Don't make an enemy of the Chinese, for fuck's sake.
Apologies for that. Anyone from Changchun who was tuned in. Changchun Yatai against Shanghai Port. Changchun are rock bottom after 16 games in the Chinese Super League. They've lost 12 of the 16, won only 2, conceded 29 goals, sitting on a goal difference of minus 15. Shanghai are right up at the other end. They're sitting in 4th on 34 points, but only 4 points off top. And in their 16 games, they've scored 36 goals so far. There's only Beijing have scored more. Handicap's going to be the pick here. Shanghai Port will win this, and they'll win it by at least 2 goals. So I'm going to take Shanghai Port minus 1.5 at even money against Changchun Yatai.
Yeah, love that, Baz. Just having a look there. It's quite tight at the top, isn't it? Shanghai Port sitting in 4th. Beijing, Shanghai, Shenhua, Chengdu, Rongcheng, back and forth. Who's the Oppo down the bottom?
Changchun, Yatai.
Oh, yeah, they're shite. 8
Rock
points.
bottom.
Yeah. Lovely pick, Barry. Arms across the sea. I hope that fella in Nepal didn't throw his audio device out the window in disgust, Barry. I don't think they like the Chinese, actually, in Nepal, do they? I mean, I don't really. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a diplomat, Barry. That's very good, Barry. I didn't expect you to go there even a little bit. Because I'm back in the sensible competitions. I'm in the, I don't fucking know. Is it the Europa League? It might be the Conference League qualifying,
See, I would have put money on you going to America or Brazil.
MLS, I know I talked about the Brazilian League with Tiger on the way to football. Europa Conference League qualifying, Barry. 7:45 on Thursday, 2:45 Eastern Time. And I'm keeping it local, Baz, you know me. It's Cliftonville against St. Joseph's FC. Cliftonville from Northern Ireland, where we've already been once tonight. And St. Joseph's FC finished second in Gibraltar, Barry, obviously, last season. Cliftonville are 15-13 plus 115. The draw 23-10 plus 230. And St. Joseph's are 21-10 plus 210. Cliftonville are managed now by Jim Magilton. Do you remember Jim Magilton, Baz? What team would... No. Oh, hang on.
You're going to ask me what team he was
no, he might be. That might be think. I was thinking of the bloke who played for Ipswich Town. What's his...
Well, funny enough, your next question was going to be which club is he linked with? And I was going to say Ipswich Town. But
right, yeah, well, that was... Yeah, he wasn't...
No, he wasn't. He was a midfielder.
Yeah, he was a midfielder, yeah. Who are you thinking of then?
I don't know.
Whoever it was, you sent me the wrong way there. I was correct. Yeah, Jim Magilton was the Ipswich Town schemer. Yeah, you're right. Well, he's now the manager. I think they finished 7th in the league last year, but they qualified via the playoffs to qualification for the Conference League. First leg last week in Gibraltar, finished 2-2, Baz. It was goals galore. But, and here's the thing, Barry. Cliftonville were 1-0 up. Had a man sent off on 55 minutes. St. George scored the penalty that resulted from the red card. Cliftonville actually retook the lead there against 10 men before St. George equalised again. The form of that Northern Irish, the Irish Prem, is much, much stronger than that from the Gibraltar League. Really, I mean, Lincoln Red Imps, you get a sort of half a competitive game out of them, but that's about it, really. The rest of dog shit. At home, with 11 men, and I tell you what, Cliftonville have got really good cup pedigree as well, Baz. They won the League Cup last year in Northern Ireland. They lost in the Northern Irish FA Cup final on penalties. So a lot of good cup pedigree. They've played in the Conference League qualification 3 of the last 4 years. And St. Joseph's have been on a 2-month layoff. Their league's out of action. So they haven't had much at all. So if you're ticking boxes, everything points to Cliftonville. They're a really good price, 15-13 plus 115. But I don't mind them on the handicap, minus 1.5 plus 290. We're nearly getting 3-1 for Cliftonville on the handicap here. I think they can duff them up. Actually, they were probably the better team for large parts away from home with 10 men. So I think they can get them duffed up here. Southampton, Jim Magilton played for as well. Lee points out rightly. And I think, Barry, that's all that's my 4 picks. You done?
Oh, I'm done, aye.
Oh, we're done, like. 50 minutes for all those people who thought there was nothing to bet on. 50 minutes. I see you. Is there anything, Barry, that you want to talk about before we bugger off?
No, I don't think there is.
I think we've covered
it. Just feeling happy that garbage is over and we can now almost very close to starting looking at the proper stuff for next season. It's so close, I can almost smell it.
What was our message? What was our plan for next week? Can you remember? Let's have a look. I sent you a message.
Can't remember.
Because it's nearly to next week. I'm going to warn. Next week's going to be more of this, I imagine.
Yeah,
more silliness.
I think we're struggling for the next show, and then we're into team previews, championship features and stuff like that. So yeah, we've got plenty of stuff.
Yeah. Next week's got a load of question marks next to it. And then the week after, the 24th of July, EFL outrights before its Premier League previews. And then it's EFL Week 1 picks. So we're like 3 shows away from EFL Week 1 picks because that goes off 2 weeks before the Premier League. League 1 and 2 kick off a week before the Championship, which kicks off a week before the Premier League. Teams are announced for kick-off as well, Barry. Do you believe, Barry, we are in a position to kick off next week? The only thing I thought we'd have to toss the coin. Maybe we could do that next week and then kick off the week after. Or we could toss the coin and kick off. Do you know what? It's up to you.
It's a tricky one, like. Yeah.
We'll think about it. Let's not rush into anything, but
you don't want to overload people with too much stuff in one week, do you?
Yeah. We need to give people time to mark out their own boards and go to the shop and get some blue tack to stick the ball on and all that sort of thing. So there we go. Well, thank you very much, Barry. That was utter drivel for the most part, but I enjoyed it. Thanks everyone who joined us in the chat. That was more fun. The chat was all right. I don't mind that. That was entertaining. So we won't bother with the weekend just to save everybody having to endure this for another hour. And we'll be back next Tuesday. I think we're going to do Tuesday because I'm working away next week, Barry. I'm on a little whistle-stop casino tour, but I'll tell you about that next Tuesday just to fill in 3 minutes, Thank you very much, Barry. Thank you, everyone who listened. Like, rate, review, thumbs up, subscribe, comment, all that sort of malarkey. Good luck with your bets this midweek, and we will see you all down the road. Cheers.